instant stellar debut on day number 2. The drafting phase will now begin. This is our second series of the day. Team CARACAL on the blue side versus Red Esports on the red side.
And they are starting off with a Faramis ban. And looking at how he had played, I can see why. Faramis is such a nuisance to deal with, especially in the later stage of the game. But right now, for the side of Red Esports, we've seen a pattern when it comes to bans. A lot of teams don't want to face up against the Fanny, the 1-1, the Valentina, even though SMG keeps letting it go. And Valentina has been banned out. But I kind of want to talk about Tamus as well. We saw in the previous series, Tamus has been focused in the ban section, and when it's been played, it's super strong. Not sure if they're gonna ban it out, but I think Tamus should be a hero we look out for as well.
It's always quite difficult now that we're in a meta where so many heroes are becoming more and more viable, because you only do have so many bans, and that means that you have to decide, you have to pick your poison, right? You have to decide which you can deal with, which you have to kind of let go to the opposition, and that's why the art of drafting, I feel, is always so entertaining to watch. You want to see how these players go about it, how the coaches decide on their strategy while responding to what the enemy team brings to the table.
You truly are spoiled for choice, which is good and bad. Good in the sense of, if certain heroes are banned out, you still have options, but having too much options can actually cloud your judgment as well. So I feel like it's really great having an analyst on the stage as well, so the coach is not alone on the drafting phase. And I feel like this is contributing to how competitive all of the teams have been performing here in MPL Season 10. And as we talked about it, Fanny again has been banned out. Now for the side of Team CARACAL, if they don't ban out the 1-1, do they want to take the 1-1 for themselves? Because right now, looking at power picks, we still have the Julian up on board. We still have the 1-1, which has not shown itself in MPL Malaysia as of yet.
Well,
has it?
Sorry, who?
1-1.
1-1. Yeah, we got to see.
Oh, we got it. Okay.
I believe it was actually Zed playing it yesterday.
Oh, okay,
it
cool.
Just didn't quite work out simply because Team Lunatics, whenever they gave the opportunity for the crossbow of tank to be activated, they're just like, I'm just going to die, so you can't use the ultimate. That is legitimately what happened yesterday.
Well, you know what? Team CARACAL, they have 9 lives. So I
That's
do
true.
So I do want to see. All right, so the 1-1 has been banned out for Red Esports. Do they want to ban out the Julian? A lot of power picks is still open. We saw how Box performed on the Akai, and it looks like, yep, Julian is gonna get banned out. For the side of CARACAL, what is going to be their priority?
Well, the bans so far are looking to be basically the most standard I have seen throughout the tournament. So we can expect the first pick to be something heavily contested as well. Things like Tamus, as you mentioned, things like the Beatrix, all are going to be open. Eve as well is something that a lot of teams do find quite interesting. But I guess we will find out. We already highlighted earlier that Mom is going to be replacing Ren Cutie today for Red Esports, but I also noticed Menzel Meow is actually going to be playing today instead of Sino.
Yeah, I heard that Menzel is an amazing roamer. Like, in terms of his mechanics, he's insane. But he hasn't been saying a lot of plays, so we have to see what he does on stage, because it doesn't matter what you do on scrims, it doesn't matter what you do on ranked games, but once you're on stage, it's a different kind of ballpark. Now for Red Esports, so far what I've been seeing in terms of how they draft is actually just focusing on to Mao, whether he's been using the Irithel or the carry. Basically, they're gonna draft around him. I want to see if they're gonna do the same thing up against CARACAL, or they're gonna switch things up. If they take carry early again, I kind of feel like this is a Mal-centric draft for Red Esports.
Well, looks like you did predict correctly right there. Carry going to instantly be locked in alongside the Eve. These are two heroes that Red Esports do enjoy playing. And once again, they're going to skip over the obvious Beatrix option and just go straight for the carry. A very interesting choice from Red Esports.
I feel like this is a good opportunity for us to talk about why carry is favored by Red. A few things to note. Let's talk about the Mimi bits. The first thing is, Mal, throughout his entire MPL career, he never uses the meta heroes when it comes to the marksman. He used 1-1 when 1-1 was not being used by anyone else. The moment 1-1 is like top priority, even if their first pick, he's like, nah, I don't feel like it.
That is true.
I don't feel like it. But speaking of the carry, one good thing about the carry is, one, it forces your own team to just keep pushing forward, because she is a very short range hero, even though is a marksman. It kind of makes it slightly simpler to know what you're gonna do. And number two is, because of the passive, the light wheel, you can actually deal a lot of damage even without items. So earlier stages of the game, Carrie can actually create a snowball, just because even without items, she can deal a lot of damage. Carrie's kind of weird. She's strong in the early, and late in the mid is pretty so-so.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of risky to go with the hero, because if Carrie doesn't win lane, it does make it much more difficult. But Team CARACAL actually decided to go for the Claude there. So this is actually not a bad lane for Mal at all. They lock in the Ling as well, as we saw earlier. We've already seen Kenmia play this yesterday to varying degrees of success. But we do notice as well that the Franco has been picked up by Red Esports. This is most likely going to be Merle's hero again. And we saw yesterday, he really surprised us with his debut of this hero on stage, making hooks that no one would expect.
Yeah, he hooked a Natalia in the bush. A blind hook. Overall, Muriel has been amazing, and Franco has been quite the annoyance even before MSC. This hero is one of those heroes that doesn't matter what meta it is, it's still gonna be playable. It really depends on the roamer skill, and like I said, with carry, because of the passive, you can actually get early kills. So if the Franco catches anyone around Mal, you can give him quite a few kills in the early stages of the game. Say, in 4 minutes, he has 2 kills. That's a big snowball that you're creating for carry.
Yeah, and that's going to be the ideal for Red Esports as well. We already know that this is a team that likes to play around Mal quite a lot. A little bit less these days. I do think that their gameplay is a bit more balanced, but Mal is always going to be that one fixed factor, that fallback plan. No matter what is going wrong, this man will get his farm. And because of that, Red Esports wants to make sure that they have control over areas of the map, especially like the mid lane, which would open up areas for Ashe to be able to roam around and create pressure, which is why you see the Lilia getting banned out.
I like the Cho ban because, again, Mom is going to be in the EXP role. We saw how Ren QT used the EXP lane to his own advantage, because he created a lot of space, making it so that even if Mal is not having a good game, he has the space to farm, he has the space to deal out damage. And Mom is very good on the Cho when he was playing as a roamer for the previous season. So they're like, he can do it in roam, he can probably do it in EXP. So it's a good ban in my opinion. But right now, with the Paquito being picked up, it's still a flex pick. It can go in the jungle and it can still go in the EXP.
We know that Zayed is usually more leaning towards assassin-style heroes, but he has played the Paquito before, just not very often, and he's not bad with it. So Red Esports just wants to open up the draft here, make things a little more confusing. Team CARACAL gonna be locking in that Akai. Considering the Ling has already been picked up, this is going to be a roam Akai being played by Manzal today.
Yes, and again, the Paquito, I feel like it's a... Oh, the Lunox being picked up. This is quite something, because Lunox has been picked. It did not bring a victory per se, but it's going to be very interesting. Talking about the Paquito can actually counter the Ling if they're both playing in the jungle, but now putting Akai in the mix, it does make it a little bit more confusing, because yes, the Paquito can fight against the Ling, but he will get pushed back. And the Benedetta is showing its face again. This is going to be a jungle Benedetta.
Ooh, is it? It is. It is jungle Benedetta. And Mom going to be playing Paquito in the EXP lane up against Tamiz. Not an easy lane matchup, but definitely winnable. The Lunox pickup, as you highlighted, picked up once, didn't work out too well, but the hero is still very strong with the update to her Darkening, doing more max HP percentage damage.
I'm very excited just to see how Red plays this out, because again, it's still the same kind of draft. Focus everything on to Mal. Even though Zaid Hakimi on this Benedetta, I'm pretty sure he will get kills, but his main priority is to actually create a distraction. And right now we're gonna look at the focus player Mal and Zed Meow. Again, Mal, historically amazing player in gold. Zed, if he can shut down Mal, we're gonna see a different CARACAL.
Yeah, we have to remember Zed. He breathed back new life into Suha's esports last season. Will he be able to do so now for Team CARACAL? We're back again in the land of dawn, ladies and gentlemen. And a hook already starting before the game can even really get started here. Bad Boy getting picked up with the iron hook.
Miro already showing his stuff. We barely got out of the split screen and he's like, yo, just to let you guys know, I'm using Franco. I was kind of crazy with it. Just to remind you. All right, don't forget, we're good. Let's start the game.
Just instilling fear in your opponent before they even know what hits them. We can see there's going to be a slightly more aggressive positioning by Team CARACAL here, even pulling Rash over to secure the Litho and potentially invade, but Zayed still steals it away from them.
Hey, you know what? As a rookie, his performance has been crazy. And right now, I want to see him actually developing into a more mature jungler, making sure that he makes the right plays. And look at this, Red Esport. They're putting two people onto the gold lane, creating a lot of pressure for Zed. As a Claude, it's already difficult for you to really do much in lane, but putting a Franco there, it's just going to create too many problems.
Yeah, not a fun lane for Zed, especially with this Claude. We know that it's already a hero that tends to have a rough time against most marksman matchups. And typically when you are up against a carry, you would want a hero that could pressure it. But speaking of pressure in the mid lane, Zayed playing very aggressively. He knows he can escape any of this.
This is why it's so annoying going up against a Benedetta. You kind of know she doesn't really have the damage to kill you just yet, but just the amount of damage that she can dish out and the fact that she can run away because of all those crazy dashes, it just creates a situation where your farm as well as your rotation is slowed by default, and it's not your fault, it's just the way that the Benedetta plays.
What I do like right now is that Bad Boy is obviously clearing the way faster as compared to Ashe on this Lunox, and he is roaming around with his team quite a lot. Unfortunately, not really applying enough pressure to the lanes because Red Esports has been doing a very good job of just responding to any aggression. Mom now jumping on top of Rash, forcing out the ultimate, and a really nice two-man knockup strike allows the take of the turtle going over to Zayed.
Yeah, looks like perhaps a small miscommunication there where Menzel did actually push Zayakimi away. However, Canmeow, okay, he used his retribution, so he probably used it a little bit early. Let's look at the emblems. And before that, we're going to look at Miro catching out, and Mal managing to get the first blood onto Zed Meow.
Wait, I'm sorry, did he just hook the Claude after he used Battle Mirror Image? He flickers in, bloody hunts, and then hooks him after he TPs away. But now Ken wants revenge. Mal, he does not have any help here. That's going to be a return kill.
Hey, they are our focus player for a reason. And yeah, again, playing as a Claude against a good Franco is not fun just because the Franco, he knows where you're going to go after this. As long as the Claude's HP is going to go low, it's like, oh, he's going back? I know where Dexter is.
I just feel like the level of gameplay in Season 10 has just grown by leaps and bounds. I don't know what these players have been doing since Season 9, but I am all for it. In terms of the junglers right now, Zayed going to have the advantage. Level 7 to the Link's level 6. Murl gonna get pinned to the wall with the heavy spin, and that's gonna be a kill going over to Team CARACAL.
Yeah, but look at that. Mal actually can dish out respectable damage, and I'm just gonna answer your question by saying M4. They're doing this for the M4. And right now, Mom up against Rash Meow. Tamus so far looks like might be the hot pick for the EXP lane because so far no one has lost as a Tamus, at least in lane.
There's no good lane matchup for a Tamus. Zayed, did he steal that? Nope, it looks like Ken was still able to secure it. And now Zayed himself is in a lot of danger, trying to dash out. The rest of his team coming in, but Ken will be able to pick up the kill.
This is one of those things that I want to see Zayed change. I want to see him grow as a mature jungler because we know he has the mechanics, but he needs more experience to really be able to look at the situation and really see, should I go for this trade or not? He was alone, so perhaps that was a little bit questionable. Mom is able to see that the turtle has been initiated. However, he can't do much, and right now he has to run away from Rash Meow. His HP is dangerously low, but Menzel pushes them away, making sure that Bad Boy stays alive.
Oh, Mom in a bit of danger here. He's actually taking the fight against Rash and Meow here, and he will just barely survive. But the Paquito not having a very fun time, as now Ken Meow coming in looking for Mom. Not quite able to finish him off though.
Yeah, Mom, he's playing with fire. His HP is super low, but just because he was able to buy the Bloodless Axe, he's a little bit more confident. When the minion came in, we saw him getting the spell vamp back up. So he is very, very, like, I just want to say slightly greedy, because that could have been bad. That could have been really bad.
But if we look at the gold ranking, Maul looking pretty good, and Zed might get focused once again. A concealed play, but a nice battle mirror image will allow Zed to get out, as Mianzal looking for Zayat forces him to dash out of danger. Mom again in danger, being taken out. Vengeance popped by Rash, but Mom is able to flicker away. He's actually still fighting the Tamas behind the wave right now. He has to be cautious. He has lifesteal, but Tamas has damage.
No, the thing is, Tamas, he has lifesteal as well, so Mom really has to be careful. This is what I'm talking about. He's playing this game super dangerously, and his engagement, but this time Ken Meow is there. Ken is trying to get a kill onto Mom, and Mom right now has nowhere else to go. But he still manages with the heavy left punch, getting a clutch shield. What was that?
Mom just flexing in the EXP lane. You thought I was a rover? Nope, I can do this too. That was perfectly timed. Just using the heavy left punch to get that shield. And now Bloody Hunt onto Mianzal will do a lot of damage with Maul, but not quite enough. And that means Bad Boy will be able to pick up the Franco in the back line. He might still have Darkening up, so he's looking for Ash and Maul, who are both dangerously low, forcing the flicker from the Eve.
Right now, Team Caracal, they're playing so well because they know what Red Esports want to do. They want to make sure that they win the gold lane, and Team Caracal, they just respond. They just respond accordingly. So this is good and bad for Red Esports. The good thing is they have a very clear win condition, but the bad thing is it's too clear. It's easy for Team Caracal to read what they're trying to do and just counter appropriately.
Despite that though, Red Esports has claimed victory with this same strategy plenty of times in the past, so as long as Maul isn't put too far behind, he will be absolutely fine. We can see he's already got the Wind Talker and the Golden Staff, so in terms of itemization, he's actually slightly ahead of Zed, who has gone for a slightly more defensive option.
Yeah, looking at the itemization as well, I like to see that Zed Meow, he did build a little bit of armor, making sure that he can stay alive for a little bit longer. Right now, they have swapped lanes. Zed wants this bottom turret now. And Mom, there's nowhere for you to go. It's going to be an easy kill. Bad Boy Meow secures it for himself. An easy turret, but it looks like Red Esports, they might want to bring this back. Miro with a crazy hook, managing to actually get Bad Boy Meow in the back, and the rest of the team has to retreat.
A good gank from Team Caracal, but also a good response from Red Esports. You can see here, Ken actually playing quite dangerously because he knows he has to escape to get out of the clutches of Red Esports. But so far, these teams are surprisingly even. I think Team Caracal has definitely improved a little bit after their loss yesterday.
Well, if they do win, we gotta give props to Menzel Meow, 0-0 and 5. He's been playing very, very well, making sure that whatever ganks that they do execute, either he manages to get a kill or he makes sure that his core damage dealer survives. And Miro, what a clutch hook!
That just forced Mianzal to waste heavy spin. I feel like he didn't have to do that because you could tell that Maul wasn't interested in actually getting that kill. I don't think he has enough damage, but here he comes again. Bloody Hunt onto the Akai, and now they know he doesn't have his ultimate. Beautiful use of timings from Red Esports. Now they're aiming down Bad Boy, forcing out the Brilliance. Will they still follow it up? They're going to, and they will find it. So much mobility. Blazing Duet from Zed, doing a lot of damage in the backline. Here comes a Rash as well, forcing Flicker from Mirror. Zayed still trying to dish out some damage, but a good disengage from Red.
I kind of feel like I gotta stop talking up for the players. I was talking about how good Menzel was, and then he got caught. there's a correlation there, but either way, Menzel is still playing very, very well. But Miro, it kind of looks like in the map, the bushes don't exist. Even if they're there, he still has vision somehow. He knows where to hook, and he's gonna bring in the kills for Mal. Mal right now 2-1-0, Zed Meow 1-1-2. I still feel they're kind of on even ground, but as a team, Red Esports, they have a 1,000 gold lead.
And now they want to go for the Lord. All 5 members of both teams are in the area. Mianzal will have heavy spin now. Lord doing a lot of damage. Heavy spin coming into the backline. Miro out of position. And now the heavy spin is dismantling the backline. Real manipulation comes out. 4 members of Red Esports still alive. They're looking for Rash and they will find it. And now Bad Boy has to use Brilliance to get away from Mom. But it might not be enough. He's dropping real low. They find Bad Boy. Mom is nearly dead, but he's still alive. And they find Mianzal as well. And that is going to be a one fight for Red Esports.
I would say it's a mixture of good decision-making from Red, but bad decision-making coming in from the side of Team CARACAL, because even though their HP was low, they tried to fight a little bit more. Zed has to be careful because he is very low on mana, and I understand that they really want this Lord, but it's just 10 minutes. You could really let the Lord go away. Why did you go in, Ken? Why? This is the question from the previous team fight up until that Lord fight. Why? It's just the first Lord. It's not worth it for you to die for that Lord.
He just wanted to poke in and see if he could grab it. In this sense, curiosity killed the cat right there. And even the hook from Miral pulling Mianzal out of position. This Franco is such a nuisance to Team CARACAL.
Yeah, but again, I got to put that on Team CARACAL. That was bad decision-making because looking at the situation, if we could rewind time and look at their HP and look at their mana and look at the amount of skills that they still have, it's not a favorable fight for them to take, but they still want to take it. And then the Lord, if it was a Luminous Lord, an Evil Lord, that would be different. But again, look here, Zed Meow popping the Blazing Duet, trying to clear the minion. Mom is there alone. He flickered into the wall, and looks like he's not going to get away. Zahikimi tried to save his teammate, but look at that hook coming in from Miro, but it is on to Menzel, so he can survive. If Mal was there, it would have been a different story.
All things considered, that was actually a pretty good disengage from Red Esports. They were stuck under the heavy spin underneath Team CARACAL's tower, and they all split up pretty well, only losing 1. In terms of damage dealt though, Bad Boy and Zed Miao are both at the top of the list. These two are doing a lot of DPS.
A lot of damage, but still not resulting in what they really want, which is map pressure. So for Team CARACAL, they kind of have to slow down the game a little bit because whoever their shot caller is, they need to calm down. They need to see clear-cut advantages that they can take advantage of. Because right now, Zahikimi as well as Ken, they're fighting over the purple buff. And it looks like Zayt secured it?
Not too certain about that one. It looks like he did. Mom now 1v3. Heavy spin going to miss the Paquito. Really nice juking here. Zayat now coming in from the back line. Mom gonna be doing as much damage to Bad Boy as possible to set up for the Benedetta. Conceal use, but Zed is out of position. Brilliance to allow Lunox to get away. Blazing Duet pop down, suppressed by the Bloody Hunt. Zed is left out to rot, and the rest of his team can do nothing to save him. Zayat actually still pursuing, but the Electo final blow, but that is enough for now.
Put respect on the Franco because, again, no matter what you're trying to do, you're going to get caught. And we saw that from Zed Meow. He tried to run away. I'm pretty sure he knew he was dead just because he saw the Franco, so he thought might as well just pop his ultimate, try to dish out as much damage as he can. But that mistake should not have happened. They shouldn't have missed position so far ahead. And Menzel should be around to help support his marksman just in case if anything goes wrong, and we saw things definitely went wrong.
They underestimated the mobility coming out of Mom. His ability to get out of these sticky situations is really on full display here, and Rash taking a lot of poke damage there from Ash. The Tamas will have to recall, meaning that Red Esports can get started on this Lord.
Right now with a 3,000 gold lead, they have to be careful of this Franco because if they overextend, the Franco will definitely punish them, especially looking at how fast they actually engage on any kind of team fight. Right now Red Esports, they're kind of forcing Team CARACAL because they know how CARACAL plays. If they see a fight, they will try to force it out, and that might be the situation right here.
Lord going to actually get reset here. Not sure if that was intentional by Red Esports, but they do need to respect Team CARACAL's engagement right now. They don't know where Mianzal is for sure, and he does still have heavy spin available. You can see from their positioning, Miro is mainly concerned about people coming in from behind. And Ash is keeping a good eye on the mid lane to ensure that he can clear it up as well. Ken Meow, unfortunately, the only one with mobility on the side of Team CARACAL, has to go and clear up waves on the opposite side of the map.
If he can take advantage of this tango, of this dance around the Lord, Ken could potentially get a lot of a lot of farm over here and perhaps try to push out the waves a little bit more, making sure that Red Esport, they have to answer to one of the pushes, because right now Team CARACAL as well as Team Red Esport, they're just waiting for someone to pull the trigger. And oh, Menzel going in front.
Ooh, concealed play. He almost gets hooked there, but he just barely isn't able to survive. Killing spree going over the Mal, and now the fight has begun. Lord is low on HP. Bloody Hunt on Rash inside the pit. Bad Boy flickers in, gets knocked up. Forced to use the Tempest Blaze to stop the real one immediately. Mal has to survive with the Wind of Nature. Zed doing a lot of damage with Blazing Duet. Ash probably has to be left behind. Sacrifice Zion still around, but it is Team CARACAL who secure the Lord. They pick up Mom on top of it all.
Good team fight from Team CARACAL, but overall, we got to talk about Zed. Look at how he positioned. During the entire team fight, he kited everything out. He went back in. He swapped places with Dexter and tried to dish out the damage. But so far, I got to say, big props onto Zed as well as Ken Meow. Ken actually going on to 3 people with his Tempest of Blade, getting that crucial knockup, canceling out the real world manipulation, actually dealing a lot of damage as well as crowd control and creating so much space for Zed. For the side of Red Esport, they were happy they managed to get Menzel off guard, which is great, but again, they gotta focus on Zed as well as Ken. If not, Team CARACAL might actually win this one. They're in the base of Red Esports.
2 inhibitor towers gonna fall instantly to the side of Team CARACAL. That's gonna be a lot of damage done once we see the Lord push. But Team CARACAL looks like there's a good bit of discipline there. They know that that's probably all they're going to get and instantly back things off.
Yeah, and we're looking at the scaling over here because, again, Team CARACAL, they have the Claude, they have the Ling, they have the Lunox. The damage is going to be super good come late game, and we're about to approach that. And right now, the AI winning prediction brought to us by Mech Delivery, it's saying that Team CARACAL has a very favorable spot, 74% chance of winning this game. And Red Esport, again, their clear win condition is Mal. If anyone from the side of Team CARACAL, even if they have to sacrifice their own life and manage to kill Mal, Team CARACAL, they have 3 sources of damage. Honestly, even Rash could deal a lot of damage, because looking at the items over here, Rash, he has a lot of defensive items, but having that Corrosion Scythe, making sure so that if anyone is caught off guard, with the amount of slow that he will apply, they can't run away.
Well, it looks like we're going to be going into a short break here. Peeves, we gotta make sure that everything is working on the side of both teams. Right now we can see the score is 9-11 favoring Red Esports, but after winning that previous fight, Team CARACAL are in a much better control over the Land of Dawn. And if they can continue pushing this forward, as you mentioned, Lavelle, they have better scaling compared to Red Esports, because the red lineup depends completely on the carry dishing out DPS. So as long as Team CARACAL can play around that, they have an easy path to victory.
Yeah, and as we see here, the pause has been requested by Team CARACAL, and they're troubleshooting the situation right now. However, it doesn't look like it will take long for this pause in particular. And yeah, I feel like this is the double-edged sword of Red Esports draft, where again you have Mal, probably one of the best gold leaders MPL Malaysia has ever seen, so it's always a good idea to play around him. But Zai is he's a star in his own right as a jungler, and having the Benedetta is great and all, but perhaps they should give him someone that can really get those kills as well, because right now the threat is Mal alone, but from the side of CARACAL, there's 3 different people there, so who do you really focus on?
Yeah, it's quite difficult for Red right now when you have to think about Zed, you have to think about Bad Boy, you have to think about Rash, and on top of that all, the heavy spin there to set things up for Team CARACAL, and Red Esports have quite the uphill battle to think about here. The next Lord is only going to be up in another 70 seconds, so Team CARACAL want to make use of this time to get as much jungle control as possible.
Yeah, and Menzel as well, he has been a big difference maker for the side of Team CARACAL. I mean, they haven't won just yet, but so far, it looks like their team chemistry has gotten better. And the thing is, they gotten better towards the game. Earlier, they have made some questionable mistakes, but you know, they grow inside the game, and they're starting to play the team fights a little bit better. Zed is taking care, making sure that he doesn't absorb any kind of damage. And Ken Meow, he tries to stop the removal manipulation. And look at this, Lord push advantage, 19,000 damage was able to put up by Team CARACAL.
That's 2 full inhibitor towers right there for Team CARACAL, meaning that Red only has 1 inhibitor left to defend their base and no external towers. In comparison, Team CARACAL, they still have their full mid lane of towers. So it's actually quite difficult for Red Esports to push into this simply because of how much they have invested in this 4 protect 1 strategy.
They have to look at Miro. If he manages to catch people off guard, like right now, Zed, you're being a little bit too in front there, buddy. I mean, you got to be careful. You got to respect the Franco, because even if you think if you think the situation is unhookable, he'll manage something.
They're starting it off. Nice knockout strike from Mom, chunking out 40% of Mianzal's HP, but it's not quite enough. He might have actually pushed him out of hook range from Miral as well, causing that to miss. Lord going to get reset, and Rash just providing information for his team, because Team CARACAL, they don't want to engage on this just yet, but with the hook just missing, Mianzal is making the call. Conceal. Red Esports, they know that's happening, instantly back things off. This is a very delicate dance between these two teams.
Yes, again, looking at how Menzel plays, he likes to use the heavy spin first, and then he's gonna dash in, possibly using the flicker, and so far he has been on point. So I trust his judgment in knowing whether they have the damage or not. Speaking of which, Team CARACAL, they're going forward, and they're managing to secure the Lord right under Red Esports noses, and Zai tries to run away. A clean getaway, they got that basically for free.
That's exactly how you want a Lord attempt to go. Really well done to Team CARACAL. Red Esports took just a bit too long, and that hook beautifully weaved in between 2 members of Team CARACAL. That's got to feel a bit bad.
I'm looking at the players' faces, Zed and Menzel. They look so happy, and based on their face, even they're like, how do we get away with that? Like, everyone was there. No one noticed the Lord at all. But we got to talk about Bat Boy, Zed, and Ken's damage. Again, 3 damage dealers that scale super well in the late game. Yeah, the Lord will not stay there for a long time. Right now, Team CARACAL, they're marching on to Red Esports base.
Zayed gonna be using Electro Final Blow to clear up the Lord, but the top inhibitor already dropped down. Flicker in with the heavy spin, displacing most of Red Esports. Team CARACAL, they don't care about Red. They